Good morning. Me and Marco are headed out. As you can see, the street lamps are still on. I've had a great sleep. I've had a wonderful conversation with my revival and harvest in South Korea. I wanted to share with you a find that I had yesterday during my prayer hour for our church's 24-hour prayer chain. We each, 24 different people, are responsible for an hour. And I had finished, I had already interceded and travailed. I had been led of the Spirit in prayer and had a wonderful prayer time. And I still had about 10-15 minutes left and wasn't feeling a particular draw or call to any particular prayer topic. And so I remembered a prayer list that it's probably been 6 months since I have prayed it. And it is a compilation of scriptures that I put together to pray for myself. I made the list 4 years ago, and the list, however, was compiled over the course of probably a year leading up to that. And just as I would read the Bible, there would be a particular verse that I would feel the Lord just inspire me and say, this is your promise. This is for you. This isn't just literature, or this isn't just for the masses. This is something I very deliberately need you to pray for your life. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to give you a different one of those verses for you to pray. If you know of anyone who has been through tragedy, trauma that has triggered depression in them, that's the state that I was in when God started giving me these verses. And yesterday when I was reading it, I was so full of thanksgiving because He has fulfilled every one of them. It was just such an amazing experience to see. And if it worked for me, it can work for you. First of all, I want to say, read the Bible for yourself. Be very prayerful when you read the Bible. And the Lord may give you different scriptures and promises than He gave me. But since the ones He gave me are my experience, those are the ones I'm going to be sharing over the next few weeks here. The first one is, I was so unenthused about ministry. I was depressed. I felt unworthy to minister in any way. And so I read, and I will put the scripture reference in the notes, but I read how the Lord sparked the enthusiasm of Zerubbabel, of the whole remnant of the house of Israel. And that sparking of their enthusiasm caused them to work on the house of the Lord. And I just began praying, God, spark my enthusiasm. I had no desire to do what I was called to do. I was called to minister in the house of the Lord. I have been my whole life, and I've done it, but I had no enthusiasm to do it. I dreaded it. It made me sick to have to do it. It was just a snowball of negativity when it came to doing my work for the Lord, my call. So I began to pray, spark my enthusiasm. It didn't happen overnight, but I can tell you that God has sparked my enthusiasm to an extent that I have no room on my calendar, and I am loving it. God's opened a door for me to minister in a community about 45 minutes from here. We have a lighthouse I'm overseeing. I love that. Ladies' Bible studies, I actually made myself give that job over to somebody else, but I love that. Recording this album, starting Ezekiel 17, recording devotionals and vlogs, and recording radio inserts, and oh my word, talk about the Lord answering prayer. He has sparked my enthusiasm. Start praying for the Lord to spark your enthusiasm to work in the house of the Lord. Your church needs you, and you need to feel joyful in your journey. God bless. My family,